Hey, my dog Jimmy, stop playing. He's fresh. It's cold, but he's fresh. One love.
Boy, Jimmy Travelz here, and I'm just walking from my house in Orlando to Ocoee. There's a MLK Day parade out right now. It's pretty cold out, even though now I'm walking, it's feeling pretty warm. I'm heading to this MLK Day parade. I just walked from my house in Orlando, took a quick turn, and now I'm in the city of Ocoee, which is a little historic town. Yeah, so it's looking pretty packed in here already. But the best thing is that I live close by, so I don't have to find parking. I can just walk. Yeah, so there we go. Right. Yeah. I'll go in and show you the parade that I'm walking up to. Just wanted to introduce myself and just talk about what to expect here on this vlog right here.
You gotta catch it though, little one. You gotta catch it. Oh, you missed it. You missed it. How you doing?
Hi, nice to see you.
Oh, almost. How you doing?
Oh, sir, how you doing?
Good.
How you doing, sir?
Day, sir?
Yep, same to you.
Okay, guys.
Same to you.
Hey, Christine Moore. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Jimmy. Hey, my dog Jimmy, stop playing. He's fresh. It's cold, but he's fresh. One love.
Well,
They must be so cold. You remind me of Daisy. Oh, she reminds me of Daisy. Let's cry. Oh, God, let's cry. Yes, I told you, King. I wrote King. That was King.
all right, there you have it. It was a parade. Actually got to catch, the front people. So I think the mayor was there, of Orange County, and some commissioners, and some cool businesses. I'm pretty sure you're wondering why the heck am I doing this. Well, in 2018, I was working at my job, and I was stressful, man. I started having health problems, and I was able to get like a week off just because of the health problems, and I decided to take a solo journey to New Orleans. And in New Orleans, I was able to do a tour of the whole city and get to learn about the history, which was great. But one of the stops that we made was at a cemetery, and their cemeteries are different. As most places, we bury the dead, whereas over there, which they showed me, they keep them, they put them in those like temples, most rich people have when they get buried, and they have like that whole little house looking thing. Well, most people have that because New Orleans is below sea level. So if a flood happens, you don't want to see, dead bodies coming out the ground and, flowing up to your front door. So in one temple, you can see like 10 to 20 people who have been buried at that temple. But the one thing that they all had in common was that they all had a birth date, a death date, and a line in between. And that line right in between there, it just really stuck out to me, because that line, each line there, kind of represented everyone's life, right? And I haven't lived in 1820, 1840, so I can't say, type of lives that they have, but what it represented to me at the time was just a straight line, just everyone just is stuck on that same straight, predictable life. And I don't want mine to be there. We all are gonna die, unfortunately, right? But how we live is what's going to matter. So I decided that I didn't want that. I don't want that on my grave. I don't want that line right there. It's gonna have some hills and some valleys, some ups and some downs right there. And also, another thing that I realized too was that these people buried 1820, 1830, the trials and tribulations that they had back then, the small little things that matter don't really matter in the scheme of things. 200 years from now, is it really going to matter? No, right? So I want to live like that too as well. I want to live as if, not worrying about those small little things that are going on in my life, because to realize that in 200 years from now, it's not going to matter. It's not. So from there, I wanted to go ahead and decide to stop living my life based on other people's assumptions or what they expect for me. I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do it then. And I dedicated myself to be able to create a life, or be able to go ahead and create a life well fit for me. So past year and a half, I've been trying to figure out what that looks like actually. And there's some experiments and tribulations and whatnot, some things I started and then I stopped at them. What I came to the conclusion is that, creating yourself is not going to be one thing. It's gonna be like an aha moment and then that's it right there. It's basically, creating your lifestyle. And the one thing that's always been consistent in my life, at least for the past 12 years or so, is traveling. See, I've been to over 30 countries so far. I love traveling, and I don't even know how many cities I've been to, but I love traveling. I love where you can immerse yourself into a culture and just totally forget about the problems. It's just the environment that you live in, and just go ahead and be a part of something that's totally new, where every day, every second, every minute is something new. You feel like a kid again. You feel like a kid, and then you realize that the problems that you have back at home is minimal. At least for the time that you're doing the traveling with. So I want to be able to go ahead and live a life of travel. And to me, traveling is not just about going and getting your passport and trying to, go to different countries. Travel is just what I did right there. Let's see, I live in Orlando. I just walked over to Ocoee, which is the border, and there we go. Traveling, I'm doing stuff new, seeing things different. And I want to be able to share that with you and hope to inspire you to do the same too as well. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you enjoy me in this journey of Jimmy Travelz, because we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff in the future. I love you all, and I see you when I see you.